Hello there, good morning. You're welcome to Unpacking on the Culture Daily Morning Show, coming to you on 3 Music TV and Plus 89.9 FM. My name is Lernie Lumote, and today I'm seated in conversation with Ghanaian Stallion. We are going to know everything about him, especially for those who do not know anything at all about him, right? I like to also build it up because I think that when we understand where you're coming from, then we can understand where you are today and then where you want to get to. So, yes, hello, Ghanaian Stallion.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
Of course,
You are very much, in tune with your culture, if I can say, because I see that you also have a cowrie necklace as well. I see it in your shirt somewhere, and then in your hair as well, right? But let's reel it all the way from inception, all right? You're Ghanaian German or German Ghanaian.
Yes.
Which one works for you?
I like to put the Ghanaian first now.
Okay. Now, before it wasn't that way.
I think with time I've got more conscious and more connected with my Ghanaian side, with my African side. Yeah.
What changed?
Me spending more time here. I mean, I grew up partly in Ghana. I went to school here. I went to GSS in Winneba, actually. So I've been here. I grew up partly here, but I would say, the first time I was in Germany, I started out as a musician in Germany. So, but yeah.
Okay. So you were born in Ghana, or you came into Ghana?
The fun fact is I was born in Italy.
Okay.
Because my mother used to work in Italy at the time, but when I was just 2 months, we came back to Berlin.
Okay.
And then I was in Berlin first, and then I came to Ghana.
Okay, so would that now make you an Italian, Ghanaian, German? Ghanaian, Italian, German?
Yeah, basically I probably could apply for the Italian citizenship as well. I'll stick with Ghana and Germany.
Global, huh?
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, so you were born in Italy, you went to Berlin, and then you came to Ghana. You said that you schooled in Winneba, right? How was your time in Ghana like? What are the most fond memories that you have spending time in Ghana?
Well, basically in Winneba, I don't know whether you've been to Winneba. It's a beautiful, town by the beach. So, people are very calm. My father is a fisher, comes from a fisherman, from a fisher family. So that's maybe also because the cowries, everything is a full circle moment now. It's a very calm city, so we went to the beach a lot. I had great friends living in the area where I was. So it was actually in the beginning it was difficult because growing up in Germany and then saying, okay, we are moving to Ghana now, leaving your friends behind and things,
environment,
exactly,
the cultural shocks. Did you have any at the time? I mean, at the time we wouldn't call it cultural shocks because we didn't refer to it as that, right? But now we know what those are. So did you have any?
The thing is, I had been to Ghana before twice before I moved, just on vacation. So I wasn't completely, unfamiliar with Ghana, but. It wasn't really a culture shock since, I grew up with my father as well. So, we always have the African, parts of in our household. But still, it was more like leaving friends behind that I had, grown up with in Germany and then getting ready for something new. But it didn't take long for me to get accustomed.
So you say you settled in quite well?
Very well.
Okay. At which point did Alan Mensah become Ghanaian Stallion along this journey?
I think... If in hindsight, I would say it even started before me knowing it because, I grew up in a very music lively household. Like my parents would play a lot of music, and even back in Berlin when, certain African bands came to perform in Berlin, sometimes after the show they would come to our house and then for the, after events and, there'd be lots of people there, African music playing. So I was always exposed to a lot of music and in hindsight, I would say that also, contributes to who I became. But then actively, it started with a friend actually in Ghana as well, in Winneba, one of my classmates, who started getting mixtapes from his friend who was in the States. And he always sent him the latest hip-hop songs, hip-hop tracks, and that's where I, got more into the hip-hop music basically. And then it was friends, introducing me to stuff, and then me seeing that I have a passion actually not only to listen and discover music, but to also kind of take part.
Okay. Yeah. So in taking part, when did you start getting active, in the music and then also identifying that maybe this is my passion, this is what I want to pursue?
So actually, I can't remember exactly the date, but I started out as a DJ. First, yeah, I was a DJ first,
okay.
working with an artist from Germany called Megalo.
Okay.
He's half Nigerian, half German. So we knew each other from from childhood. But then I went to Ghana. He stayed in Germany. But when I came back, actually, we reconnected. And at that time, he already had a underground following. People knew of him in the Berlin underground scene, saying yeah, he's one of the rappers to watch out. And we reconnected and found that we have a similar taste. And then I became his DJ first, and then shortly afterwards, I started producing, or I started, experimenting with sounds, and because he didn't have any household producer, he would go to this person and this person. So I started making beats, and I think the rest is history.
They say. But you also said that you used to be a DJ. Is that to say that you've moved on from being a DJ?
That's a good question. I should rephrase that then. I think my emphasis is more on producing and has been, and I would say I'm more a producer than a DJ now, but I know it would be silly of me not to also, use my skills as a DJ. So I'm planning actually now with the music that I'm releasing to get back into the DJ sets. I want them to be special. I don't just want to play in a club and play a few selected songs, but I really want it to be a set that, reflects, what I do. Like, play my own songs, mix them with stuff that I like. And I'm very particular and picky, so I'll have to really, get into it and then prepare something nice. But then you'll hear from me. So,
okay. In the Ghanaian setting, when you have the complexion that you have, we refer to you as Obroni or half-cool. Do you feel any alienation from the Ghanaian community or from the culture, especially when it comes to the music?
Yeah. The first thing is obviously is the story of my life, and as someone who's mixed, I basically the same thing happens to me in Germany. Like they don't call me Obroni, but I'm not viewed as a white person. If you and me were to walk in Berlin, like they would rather associate me with you than the other way around. And when I come to Ghana and I'm standing to someone who's like completely white, and I get asked, well, is that your brother or your sister? I'm like, I mean, it could be, maybe the same mother, or something, but there's a difference. And sometimes I find it more, since I've been exposed to this since I was young, I'm used to it. And the good thing about it is I speak Fanti. So whatever you try to do, if I answer in Fanti, then you see the people, then they are shocked, and they're like, hey, we don't come Fanti. So they'll be like, okay, and this automatically gets you to a different level of conversation and to a different level of thinking of the people as well, and then when you try to explain to them, there are still people who don't really fathom when you tell them, well, my father is Ghanaian. Don't you see there's a difference also between me and then maybe someone who's completely white? Some get it, some don't. But I've gotten used to it. And I think, especially for someone who grew up here and speaks the language, it's easier to deal with than someone, and I know a lot of people who are also biracial and they don't have that strong link to the African side. And when they come here, they are surprised. They are lost. And then and also a bit sad because if they are called Obroni, you are calling me, I'm coming from Europe where people don't see me as German. And I'm coming here hoping to get home, and you're also telling me I'm Obroni. But that's on the personal side. So I can cope with that easily. And in terms of the music, to be honest, not really. I think the work that I put in and the way I present myself and the way I am, I think just, lets people know, oh, he's about the music. It's not about that. So, and then obviously, but I think it also helps with the connections that I am able to forge with all the artists that I'm working with. It definitely helps for them to see, oh, I'm a Ghana boy. So yeah, definitely.
Because you mentioned that, you have a new album that you titled Bridges, right? Is that, would you say that is a link between your German side and then your Ghanaian side, right? 100%. Have you built that bridge between these two races or these two countries through your music as well?
Definitely, and I would say that's one layer of it. You can it definitely reflects my my German and my Ghanaian heritage and me bridging it. So you have artists on there like for instance a Sirius Klein, who's a Ghanaian artist but he's based in Germany mostly, who's on a song with Kwame Yesu and G West, who are from here. So I try to bring people together, but it's not only on that level, it's also the sounds that you hear. I'm also bridging sounds. So you hear a lot of African Ghanaian high life influences in my music, but I like to fuse it.
Hip life as well.
And hip life, exactly. So and what I do is I fuse it with the music that I started out making, whether it's, you know, hip hop or drill, or, you know, I like to fuse things. So yeah, it's definitely, it's a bridging experience throughout the whole project.
You have one song on there that I like. It's not typically like a song, right? But Power. Yeah. Right. I like everything that the person, you know, said in there. Was that you?
No, that's in Stroma. He's the lead singer of Santrophi, High Life Band.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. All right. I just really like it. Guys, you should check out Ghanaian Stallion, okay, on all the DSPs that you listen to music on, or on YouTube, all right? And check out that song, Power, and then maybe you would understand what I'm talking about. But Bridges is a 16-track album. Yeah. More like a 15-track album because one is an interlude, right? The creation of Bridges, what were the emotions that you had to go through to create such a body of work? Also because you don't want to sound too foreign, and then you need to also sound very much the Ghanaian that you are.
I think I didn't even have to force it because it was something that developed naturally over time. You know, it was actually, I would always say the starting point for me working on an album like this was the trip I did with Megalo, the rapper that I work with. We did an Africa tour. We went to Uganda and visited different countries. And in Uganda, actually, you know, there were a lot of artists around, and I had my mobile studio, which I just set up, and artists just starting, you know, putting verses, recording verses on the beat, and that was just a moment for me that said, okay, there's something else here that I can do. I shouldn't just stick to the German market, but I see the way African artists react to my music. They hear there's something familiar that they know, but there's also something new that they like to discover, you know. So I think that was a natural development of my sound, and it went really well with me connecting more with African artists. So you have people on there who are from Rwanda, from Congo, from Uganda, as mentioned, from Zimbabwe. So it's not just a Ghanaian German project, but it really is a bridging, you know, all the networks and the contacts that I had.
How long has it taken to put this album together? Because I see that Pele was put up about 9 months ago, 9 to 10 months ago, right? How long did the creation of this entire body of work take?
I always say it's difficult to pinpoint one moment because, you know, it's a process, like I say. So, but there's one song on there that we did in Uganda in 2019. It's called Another Banger. Oh. Yes, and I obviously I had that song for a while. And I obviously retouched it over time to bring it in the here and now. But that was a song that was created or recorded in 2019. I really want to put it on there because that was kind of the starting moment. But it's not like ever since I was, you know, then specifically working on the project. But I thought it came to my mind to actually, I could work on something, you know. And then basically it was I would say it took maybe 3 years to get to the point of them releasing, because there's one thing having a body of work done. Like I was pretty early with having everything mixed and mastered, so the album was there. But then obviously as an independent artist, that, you know, things just take time, because I really didn't want to compromise on the quality of everything. So certain things take a bit more, you know, time, and that's why I thought, okay, you know, let me just do a proper rollout. And Pele's dated back 9 months because the plan was to, you know, before I just hit the people with an album, let me just get to know them, you know, and get them to be familiar with me releasing songs as an artist and not just as a producer, because people have known me for my production work, but not necessarily as someone who puts out music himself. Right?
Okay, so you mentioned Another Banger, which I found really nice, right? Especially because of I don't know whether I should refer to that as the child on there. Is that a woman?
She's
or it's a child?
Yeah, no, she's not a child.
Oh, because it just sounded right. And I think that blend, you know, between you and her, it just came together really nicely, right? Yeah. But also because you said that this song was made 6 years ago, it would make me want to ask, where was your headspace, you know, at the time that this song was created? Because it's very much 2025, if you understand what I'm saying. 100%.
So when we did that song, I mean, I had the beats. I made that beat in Germany before we went on the trip to Uganda. So I was just going through different beats, and then we just had finished recording a song, and we had an exciting, you know, it was an exciting vibe with all those artists. And then I just played that song, and then Zex, the guy who did the chorus together with Honey, he just said like, this one is another banger. He just said it, and it went so well on the beat. And then Honey joined, and I was like, you guys, we should record this, you know. And then we already had that chorus that made that, you know, the chorus and the beat what makes that song. So we had it, and all the artists came around. Everyone wanted to try a verse, and at some point I was like, "Hey, there are already 4 people on the song. I beg,
it's enough.
It's enough. Let's not ruin the song." And so obviously, if a song lies there for 6 years, and me as a producer who is very, or an artist who's very, you know, I observe and I develop, I evolve. You know, that's one thing I'm happy about, that I really, you know, want to, you know, evolve my sound. I really want to learn new things and try out different things. So I can't bring out a song that I recorded 6 years ago with the same state of, you know, production
so
that I've gotten better.
Do
and
the
everything.
necessary touches.
I retouched it a bit. You know, added some of the log drums, which, you know, just to bring it in today, and it fits so well still. So yeah, I'm actually happy that song is on there.
What does it take you to create timeless music? And would you say that you create timeless music? Because I'm still going to refer to another banger and say that, you know, because also that now we say that music is fast food, or has become fast food. People just want to listen and put it away, right? 100%. Even to the point where songs that are so big and viral, we don't remember it after a year or two. For example, songs that went viral in 2023 are not being played as much in 2025 because the pool of music is large, right? And so that's why I'm asking if you create timeless music and what it also means to you. Again, to what point are you looking to pushing your artistry? Yeah,
it's a very good question. And I would say I get a lot of feedback from people saying, yeah, your music is timeless. You can listen to, if you listen to a song like Bus Station, like I just put out with Ara, you can listen to that song in 30 years and it might do something that the older High Life songs did with us.
Right, you know? Right.
And I think I was always someone who goes with feeling. So I like to analyze a bit, but I don't like to overanalyze things. And I like to go with what feels good for me. And happily, I think my taste always leads me to creating something that's a bit more, has more longevity. And you know, this chasing trends and doing sounds, I understand why people do it. You know, there's a lot of pressure. People want to go viral. You know, labels and management is telling, we need this, please do this on TikTok. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. But obviously, if you always chase a trends chase, and what are you leaving behind? What is your legacy? Like, what do people know you for? Do they know you for that viral moment? They know the song, but they might not know you, or do they know you for putting out music that even it might not reach or might not get those streams, but still, at least, you know, those people who listen to it will always say, wow, this guy or this lady was a dope artist, you know, and everything they put out always has quality. So that's more my approach to say everything that I work on, I want to give it my all. And
then also, of course, milking it, right?
Yeah.
That's also really important.
You shouldn't, like, exactly, like if you put out a song and it doesn't like go through the roof immediately, what people do is they think it's not
worth it.
Yeah, and then it might not be because maybe you don't stand behind it. That's also one of you're just doing it to get to trend, but not really because you're 100% identified with what you're actually doing. So yeah. Okay.
Now you've mentioned also that you went on tour, right? I know that there are some stratifications between artists where we say some people are good as performing artists, some are good as studio or recording artists, and some artists just shirk everything else and focus solely on touring, where they just want to be touring artists and are raking in the numbers, and the moolah, of course. For you as well, how is 2025 looking like when it comes to touring?
Yeah, so obviously I'll be promoting this project, this body of work for a long time. I put a lot of work into it, so people should hear it and should not get tired of me promoting it.
Okay, you won't.
Yeah, but I'll go back to Germany during the summer to play some festival shows and some gigs with Megalo, who I still DJ with. So and so that's basically, you know, that's how I normally do it. I try to spend as much time in Ghana and work on new music, and then during the summer I like to go to Germany and then make the money. And you know, be on tour. It's also, you know, a nice experience. We've been doing this for some time now, and but it's always good to be on the road and to also get feedback from people, you know, about the stuff that you do. So yeah.
Okay. Now, it's only right that I ask you before you leave if you've, beyond Arada J, right? He has a song with Arada J titled Bus Station, which is on the Bridges album as well. So just soak it all in. The music video will be played after this conversation, so you get to watch that as well. Beyond Arada J, have you made music with any other Ghanaian musicians?
Oh, yeah, a lot of them. I mean, the most notable one would be Blacko, the first and the second sermon. I did that, and obviously I've worked with a lot of people. Kwame MP, you know, Kwesi Arthur, Kofi Mole, Twitch, G West.
The Blacko one, is there a song?
First sermon and second sermon.
Oh, you produced that?
Yeah.
You produced that?
I produced that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Surprise, surprise. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that, yeah.
Okay.
I actually found that yesterday when I was in an interview, or the day before, that someone also didn't know that. So apparently, there's still some work to do.
Yeah. Okay. So we are here with the producer of Black Sheriff's first and second sermons. Okay. He is in himself an artist. He's a producer. He's also a DJ, Ghanaian Stallion. We've been having this conversation for a bit now. So just in case you caught it in the middle or you didn't catch it from the beginning, it will be on our socials. It will be on our YouTube as well. 3 music networks. Okay. Now, Ghanaian Stallion, for the people who would want to find you on socials, how do they do that?
It's Ghanaian_Stallion. That's how you find me on Instagram. That's where I'm the most active. I'm trying to get into the TikTok game.
Okay.
I'm trying my best, but yeah, Ghanaian_Stallion. That's
Ghanaian_Stallion. And I would only say to you that go fly the Ghanaian flag higher, than you are flying it, and then everybody else is flying it as well. And best of luck on tour.
Thank you so much.
This has been Unpacking. My name is Lernie Lumote.